Oh my gosh, they've just been flooding in. And one thing that I was feeling while you were sharing that, Alicia, was my long time experience with saying affirmations.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
something that I have been able to unpack and make affirmations more true for me is like I used to say affirmations like, I love you, looking at myself in the mirror and I think, oh no, I don't.
Mhm.
Or I live in absolute abundance. And I thought, well, maybe one day, but not yet.
Mhm.
And it felt more like a goal to me than an affirmation, and
Mm.
it felt untrue.
Yes.
And so it's been a wonderful journey to, be curious enough and use my imagination enough to see that what an affirmation truly is.
Mm.
And that's really coming home for me right now as well. Because when I'm in struggle, when I'm in that dark cloud,
Mm.
after I notice, what I first notice is affirmations begin to feel true or untrue again. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Mhm.
Well, not this time, or well, it used to be, but not now. And
Mhm.
and coming back into that lack mindset,
Yes.
which is just so predominant in our exterior world right now. And so today, just affirming, like I'm using the affirmation. If it's not fun, I'm not doing it.
Mm. Oh, I like
If it's
that.
not kind, I'm not saying it.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, and I'm affirming that for myself because
Yeah.
that's my way to who I choose to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. I love that. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic, affirmations. Because yes, they can be very useful. And a lot of people are not taught how to use them effectively. So the way that most personal development teachers and therapists and all sorts of leaders out there actually talk about them, they talk about them as if it's some magic cure, a magic pill.
Like The
Just say this.
Secret.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Just say this to yourself every day in the mirror. Just write down that you're rich, or that uh waterfalls of abundance are flowing into and through you every day, and just write it on your fridge, and you'll see everything's going to change. And we're forgetting half the story, right? Yes, our language is code. Yes, our the way that we speak to ourselves has an impact for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're trying to create a new identity, which is really what, whether or not people understand it, that's really what affirmations are. The point of them would be to do, right? You don't think you're worthy, start telling yourself you're worthy. It's a shift in identity. It's a shift in the way you're understanding yourself, the way your mind is viewing, okay, this is who you are. This is how I define who I am, basically. In order to create a new identity, it is not just about our language, our the thoughts that we're intentionally creating. It's not just about how we speak to ourselves. It's also about the action we are taking.
Yes.
We cannot lie to ourselves, right? We kind of forget that. we know that we can't really lie to other people and get away with it when our actions say something different to what we're verbalizing, right? We know that. Someone says, yes, I will make time for you on Tuesday. Yeah, I'll see you at 1 o'clock. If they don't show up, well, you know that they didn't make time for you, right? That they weren't true to their word. They didn't follow through on that intention, that promise, that what they said, right? We can't lie to people. We know when someone says something inauthentically, or they say something and you just know that they don't really mean it. We're so practiced at being aware of when other people are lying, and we have the saying, actions speak louder than words. We're very aware of this concept, and yet we forget to apply it to ourselves, right? It's like we somehow we take ourselves to be a little bit, dumber or dimmer, or like we're not going to notice if we just make some stuff up. Like my mind will believe it, sure.
Act as if, yeah.
Yeah. It's just not true. We can't actually lie to ourselves. And so affirmations really need to be paired with affirmation, right? Like
I love that
as well. It's a 2-part series. You need them both. You start telling yourself, I am worthy. Well, then you better start taking some different actions that actually tell yourself that, yes, I do believe that, right? Not just you say in the mirror, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy of a raise, and then never asking for that raise.
Yeah.
Or, I'm worthy of asking out that person. I'm worthy of love. And then you never ask them out. You're sending mixed signals. You're literally telling yourself the opposite with your action, and action has more weight. Action really is the highest form of communication and information. And so our consciousness is observing everything we're doing. It knows the thoughts you're having. We're constantly aware of our own experience, and that includes our action. So it's just, for anyone listening to this, if you like affirmations, awesome. Practice following up with affirmation, right? Actions that also affirm that same message you're trying to tell to yourself. And another little piece of the puzzle here is that your intention it makes all the difference. If you are telling yourself in the mirror, an affirmation. So let's have a new example. What else might you say to yourself? Let's say, there's just so many, but I am good enough. Let's take that one for example. Okay. I am enough. An incredibly popular one. I am good enough. I am enough. I am enough. If you got to remember the silent instructions, right? The sort of unwritten communication that's also there. And it really comes again back to your identity. Let's think about it logically. Would a person who truly believes they are enough, they are good enough, it's just a given, they're like, yes, I'm good enough. Would they stand in front of the mirror for 5 minutes a day in the morning saying, I am enough, I am good enough, I am good enough, I am good? Would they do that? Interesting thought. Or would someone who really doesn't believe it and really does not have that identity, their identity says, I'm not good enough, I'm just not enough. Would that be the identity, the person who does try and basically tell themselves something different? Yes. So the key here is, what is the identity you are embodying? So that's why actions are so important. It's great to have these beautiful, positive, and true thoughts. I am worthy, I am good enough. Yes, it's a beautiful practice. And you want to follow through with the action. And when you're telling yourselves those thoughts, and maybe you're speaking it out to yourself in the mirror, or maybe you're writing it out, whatever it is, when you're doing that, remember the sort of driving intention there. Remember the sort of the orientation that you're actually coming from. Are you coming from a place that says, I don't feel like I'm good enough, I need to fix that, so I need to tell myself I am enough times that I'll believe it. I need to force it on myself. I need to change this about myself. Is that the orientation you're coming from? Is that where you actually originated in your intention? I don't feel like I want to feel. I don't feel the right way. I'm going to have to change it. So I'm going to do this. Yeah. Your mind knows that that's where you started from. Your mind doesn't just take what you say and think, just believe that, oh, well, we're just speaking truth. it knows that actually the thought you had before that was that I don't actually feel I'm good enough. I know I'm supposed to feel like I'm good enough. You know, a lot of people think, well, if I don't feel like I'm good enough, I can't, I'm never going to get anywhere in life. There's a right way to believe. There's a right way to think. I need to change it. And so their actual, the instruction that will come through even louder than the affirmation that they're using is that actually I don't believe I'm good enough, and that's why I'm trying to use an affirmation to change that. That's what our mind knows. We can't lie to it. We can't mask what's really there. So remember that if we're gonna, you know, when you're coming into, if you want to choose to use affirmations and what I call affirmation, if you want to use that, first center yourself in what is my real choice here?
Mm-hmm.
How is it that I am really just choosing to understand myself? Knowing that it's okay to understand yourself a different way. It's okay that you have an old identity that maybe doesn't align to what you really want in life. That's okay. And your identity is a creation. It is a choice. You can choose and create a new one. Rather than coming from, I'm not in the right identity, I need to change that, fix that, improve that. Come from, I can literally recreate my identity in any given moment. I can literally choose how I understand myself, knowing that in truth, my true self is actually connected to the infinite. It is actually, you know, there are infinite different potential arrangements of self. All can be true if we choose for it to be true. So coming from that place, that kind of, nothing is set in stone. How is it that I would, you know, what is the identity I choose to create and reinforce? Knowing that I can be any of them. I can be it all. I can just choose and I can be that. Coming from that space, nothing to fix, nothing to change, just choice. How is it that I choose to define myself? And you can say, yeah, you know what, I am worthy. And you can just choose for it to be true. You can step into that identity and then act out of that place. It's a completely different orientation. It's coming from, what do I choose? It's not coming
Absolutely.
from how I am right now is not okay, is not going to allow me to create what I want to create. I'm not going to have success if I'm in these limiting beliefs, which is not true, right? It's not our beliefs that determine our outcomes. It's our focus and our action. But instead of coming from that place, and I need to fix it, I need to change it, I need to improve it, better it, whatever you want, any language you want, instead of coming from that place, coming from, I have the power to choose how I experience myself, knowing what I really want to experience in life, knowing that, you know, I would just love to live in absolute joy, abundance, gratitude, fun, all that stuff, connecting into that. Yeah, that's what I love. What is the identity of the person who experiences that? What is that identity that lives in that place? And then I choose to create that.
I am already that.
Exactly. Exactly. Once you
oh my gosh, I'm already that.
Exactly. We have infinite potential. We can just choose a new way to understand ourselves. And it starts with choice, then, you know, practicing the embodiment of that choice. And that's where, yes, you can use the affirmations, you can use the affirmation, coming first from the correct orientation.
Mm-hmm.
Just choose to have this identity, because that would, you know, that's what's going to let me have the most fun in life. I want to live this way. Let's step into the identity of who has that life. Let's create it. You can almost see it like a game. I really love seeing creation like a game, rather than, you know, this is a goal. Once I achieve it, I'm going to be a better person. Or once I achieve that, then I'll be a success. Then I'll be this. Then people will admire me. Then, which is at the same time sending the instruction to yourself, right now, I'm not that. I'm not that identity, which, you know, that's going to keep you stuck and keep you oscillating.